Hey, Sacramento says that they're going to ban gas stations. What? The Chrysler releases their Halcyon concept and no new Model Y in 2024. Well, it's Thursday, February 15th, 2024. Let's get to it. Hey, y'all. Happy Thursday. And hopefully you watched our video yesterday about Operation Kitty Cat, where we went to get this little guy. This is Batman for obvious reasons. He looks like Batman, don't you? You kind of do with your big black ears, huh? And your dark black bat suit. So anyway, this is Batman, everyone. He'll probably be around. You'll probably hear him in the background here and there. He's our new family member, our new furry family member, Mr. Batman, who got his first car ride in an EV yesterday. So that's all he really knows. And he's a big EV fan, aren't you? Because you know that EVs are awesome. Let's get to the rest of the video now. Hey, y'all. So, I don't know if you saw this article about Sacramento, California wanting to ban all new gas stations. See, to me, that's a problem. That's the government going too far, even if it's for the right reason. I don't think you should take choice away from people, and I really think, like, obviously, you all know I am an EV guy. I love EVs. I'm never going back, but people need to have a choice, because I think one of the reasons that the anti-EV crowd is anti-EV is because they feel like it's getting shoved down their throat by the government. And I think, human nature sometimes is to fight anything that's being forced on you. People don't usually like to be forced into something. You can sing the praises of EVs as I do, as many people do. And even if you're the government, you can do that. I mean, think about with cigarettes, right? Cigarettes at one time were wildly popular, advertised everywhere, or book or TV, magazines. You don't see that anymore. But cigarettes were never banned, right? They're regulated. You can only buy them if you're a certain age, and people still smoke. It's just way less people smoke today than used to. And, I can remember a time, I'm 50 years old, so I can remember a time when you would walk into a restaurant and they would ask you smoking section or non-smoking section, right? Like, those days are over. But that doesn't mean smoking is banned. It just means that the world has moved on. Market moved on. People stopped smoking because they realized it was bad for them, and more people realized they didn't want to be around the smoke even when they were in a restaurant or anywhere else, right? So smoking's pretty much like relegated to, people in their houses and casinos, I think. I don't know where else you can smoke anywhere in this country. I guess maybe certain states have different rules, but I think with EVs, I don't want to say it's the same thing. And, although the emissions that come out of ICE cars are just as bad for the environment as cigarettes are for people, right? And I still think, though, that people need to be given a choice. And I think over time, the market will decide that EVs are going to be the ultimate winner. And maybe at some point, ICE cars will just disappear. I don't know. But it's kind of like with California, I don't even know if this even makes sense. Like, why would you ban gas stations when it doesn't even make economic sense to build new gas stations in California? I mean, it really doesn't, because California is by far the leader in the U.S. as far as EV adoption. They've already outright banned the sale of combustion vehicles by 2035. You won't be able to sell new ICE vehicles in California by 2035. Where I live in Massachusetts, followed the same law. And again, I'm not saying that that's the right thing, because again, that's the government saying, "Oh, you can't buy this anymore." I don't know that that's right. But I mean, I think a gentle push is one thing, but kind of jamming it down people's throats is what gets people's hackles up, So, but again, like, what is the economic incentive of building a gas station in California in 2024 or beyond? I just don't see it. So banning it is almost like, it's like symbolic. It's like with the 2035 laws as far as not being able to sell ICE vehicles. Like, it's really symbolic, because by that point, how many ICE vehicles are really going to be in production? I think, whatever you want to think about EVs today and where the production is, and, oh, there's a slowdown in EV demand. it might have slowed down, but the demand is still going up. It's just maybe going up a little slower, but it's still going up and it's going to accelerate. So it just seems to me that making a law to ban gas stations is just like, it's just going to piss people off. Just let the market decide, let people decide for themselves, and just understand that eventually people are going to come around to EVs because they are the better option. Mr. Batman's going crazy down here. Here he is. Mr. Batman wants to come up and be in the video, I think. Don't you? Do you want to be in the video? You do. And then I was reading about the Chrysler Halcyon concept, which looks cool and all that. Like, I think it's great that they're talking about EVs and it looks wild and everything. But, I mean, it's Chrysler. So what are the chances that that concept is ever going to actually come into fruition as a real vehicle? If it does, it's going to be some watered down version. They're not Tesla, where they actually take a concept and make it a reality. I mean, when you saw the Cybertruck in 2019, what actually got released in 2023 was pretty much what he showed off. I mean, it didn't have the mileage and the or the range and the low price that he kind of promised, but it pretty much looked like what he rolled out. And I just don't know that Chrysler would ever do that. Hopefully, I'm wrong because I think it looks cool, and I think if more EVs looked wild and not wild in like a weird way, but wild in a cool way, more people would want them. So hopefully the Chrysler Halcyon concept comes to fruition and it doesn't look like some watered down, focus grouped, just bland sedan when it finally hits the road, if it ever does. And then sad news, no Model Y Juniper in 2024. And I think I know why Tesla actually announced it, which is something they don't usually do. They usually like to leave people guessing, but it seems that they were telling their sales associations because they were getting questioned on it. And it makes sense. People saw the new Model 3, so of course that makes you think, well, there must be a new Model Y coming. And so people were probably delaying purchasing a new Model Y, and they want to keep the Model Y the most popular car in the world, right? So the only way to do that is to basically squash any rumors that, if you buy one today, it's going to be outdated in like 3 months or 6 months. Like, it won't be until at least 2025 that there's a refresh. Hello. So, that's kind of unlike Tesla, but maybe they're getting more and more like a regular car maker as they mature and get a little older, and they're into their teen years now, so maybe they're just maturing. Hopefully not too much, because I think Tesla's still one of the coolest car companies, and they drive the legacy car makers to doing new things that people want. So no new Model Y in 2024. However, I would still buy one. Again, I won't be probably ready for a new vehicle until the end of this year. So if there is a new Model Y coming in 2025, maybe I would wait for that. Although I'm kind of thinking Polestar 4 or Rivian might be in my future, but I'm not sure yet. But even still, like, if you're going to buy a new EV this year, if you're thinking about buying a new EV this year, I don't know why you buy anything but a Tesla, because just because of the NACS port. I mean, I wouldn't buy a new Beamer. I wouldn't buy a new Mercedes. I wouldn't buy an F-150 Lightning. I wouldn't buy a Mach-E. Not because I don't like them and I think they're no good. It's just, if you wait until the 2025 model year, and a lot of those cars will start hitting showrooms in like September, October, maybe even earlier in some cases, they'll have the NACS port built in, and you won't need an adapter anymore. Even if you do get it for free from Ford, if you don't have to use an adapter, all the better, right? So, I would have liked to see a new Model 3 because I think it would be cool. Because all the improvements on the Model 3 were awesome, like with the screen in the rear, just better materials, seemed like better fit and finish. I'm not sure I love the design. It's not that different than the old Model 3. But it's cool to see them refreshing it, and it'll be cool when the Model Y finally does get refreshed. Put it that way, and maybe them not doing it this year means maybe it will be a little more radical than the Model 3 refresh. Maybe they'll push it a little farther. Maybe by pushing it into 2025, maybe it probably won't look a ton different. It'll obviously be the same size roughly and all that, but maybe they'll give it more of a like Cybertruck-ish look. I mean, I don't know. There's been rumors that the new, like, less expensive Tesla is going to look more like the Cybertruck, more angular, and who knows. So maybe it's not bad news if you're in the market because, maybe there's a cooler one coming next year and you can buy one now and still look cool for the rest of this year. And, you know, the Model Y it's the Model Y for a reason. It's the best selling car in the world for a reason because it's super awesome, right? It's a great car. So, no new Model Y in 2024. Boo hoo. Oh well. Anyway, that's all I got for today. So remember, EVs are awesome, and it's okay to be awesome. Say bye bye, Batman. Bye bye. He's a crazy one. See you tomorrow.